The seventh greatest comic book of all time is Alan Moore's run on the Swamp Thing. This is issues 20 through 27. Now, it continued on for what it became 5 more trades, but this 7 issues here, I feel like, was his peak storytelling in this world. I found this book at San Diego Comic-Con when I was about 26 years old. Someone said to me, "You've never read a comic book until you read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing." And they were right. I read it, it changed me forever, realizing just the depth of storytelling and the quality of writing that could exist in comic books. It wasn't pow, bam, smash. There was so much more. This story, I believe, makes the top 10 because it's the greatest story told about someone trying to understand who they are. At the core, this is the story of a creature who thinks they're Alec Holland. Alec Holland was a scientist who was working on plant experiments. Things went terribly awry. They caught fire. He died, and his essence fell into the swamp. Alan Moore says it best. If the swamp were boiled down into its essence and distilled into corporeal form, if all the muck, all the forgotten muskrat bones, and all the luscious decay would rise up and wade on 2 legs through the shallows, if the swamp had a spirit and that spirit walked like a man. It's a profound tale of the swamp coming to life in the essence of a human. And this reimagining of the Swamp Thing as the swamp taking on the form of a man versus a man taking on the form of a swamp comes out in this incredible story with Jason Woodrue, who's also a similar plant scientist like Alec Holland, who then captures the Swamp Thing, puts him in this cryo chamber and cuts him open and finds that he has lungs, except the lungs don't work, bones that don't actually function. And at the core of it, there is this beautiful love story between Alec and his former love, Abby. And this romance between Abby and the Swamp Thing is at the heart of this story. A tale of Beauty and the Beast, a woman who is beautiful with this white hair and this black streak, who has Alec Holland's heart, who then soon has Swamp Thing's heart. And it's a case where they can never quite be because of the creature that he is. So it's a case of always and never, as Frank Miller says best. There is a literary quality to this book that can't quite be rivaled. Alan Moore brings something to his writing that is electrifying. And this, I think, says it best. It's raining in Washington tonight. Plump, warm summer rain that covers the sidewalks with leopard spots. Downtown, elderly ladies carry their houseplants out to set them on the fire escape as if they were infirm relatives or boy kings. Another piece of this story that's so magical is this ongoing mental monologue that's crafted by Alan Moore's writing. There's this great moment where the Floronic Man revivifies the Swamp Thing who's been in cryo-freeze. And there is this shrewd businessman who he calls the Old Man, who has been hunting this Swamp Thing to figure him out and how he can turn it into a profit. And when Swamp Thing wakes up, he's quite violent and angry, and he attacks this old man and he squeezes him to death. And there will be blood. I don't know. I don't know if there will be blood. It isn't important. It won't spoil things if there is no blood. The blood doesn't matter. Just the dying. The dying's all that matters. One thing that's unique about this story is how they credited the art. John Totleben, who was the inker, got co-credited with Stephen Bissette, the 2 artists on it. Now, Dan Day did the pencils for issue 20, but the rest were Stephen Bissette. And just look at these incredible pages. You see those bottles of alcohol at the top and how they drip down onto the pages and set the tone for the story. He does that again here with the Swamp Thing, how he bookends this page right here, where the Swamp Thing is overseeing it, even though he's not directly connected to those pages. Look at this beautiful page here where the Floronic Man is just transformed from Woodrow to Floronic Man. And then we have here the Swamp Thing waking up from this cryo sleep here. And you can just see the emotion in the faces that were captured here by Bissette and Totleben. And you can see this incredible plant awakening in the chest here of Swamp Thing. The layouts blew me away. One thing incredible about this story, which Alan Moore has been able to do so well, is it has this sense of violence and action without big violent or action scenes. It has all this buildup and then just one harsh moment of violence where the Swamp Thing maybe smashes through things or crushes one person. And I love that, where it doesn't get bogged down in the physical action. There's just the suspense to it, and then boom, it's horrific and quick, much like violence is in real life. This book is all things romantic. This book is all things angry and violent, yet peaceful and aware, romantic and yet unrequited. It's a tale that touches your heartstrings. It's a tale that has almost acid-like trip visuals.